Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we will delve into sociology and philosophy of education. Whether you're just starting your journey in education or looking to refine your teaching skills, this session will provide you with valuable insights and practical strategies to enhance your classroom experience. We'll cover key areas stipulated within the CBC Diploma Teacher Training Syllabus certified by the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development. So, grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's embark on this journey to becoming a more effective and inspiring educator. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. Let's get started. Philosophy of education and sociology of education are two closely related fields that examine the nature, purpose, and practices of education. While philosophy of education focuses on the theoretical and conceptual foundations of education, sociology of education explores the social and cultural factors that shape educational systems and practices. Sociology of education examines education from a sociological perspective, exploring the social and cultural factors that influence educational institutions and practices. It seeks to understand how education is shaped by broader social structures and institutions such as politics, the economy, culture, and social inequality. The field of sociology of education is interested in studying the relationship between educational institutions and social inequalities, as well as the impact of education on social mobility and social reproduction. Philosophy of education, on the other hand, is concerned with understanding the conceptual and theoretical foundations of education. It seeks to answer questions such as what education is, what its purpose is, and what values and beliefs should be promoted through education. Philosophers of education also explore questions related to teaching and learning, the nature of knowledge, and the role of the teacher. Both sociology of education and philosophy of education are interdisciplinary fields that draw on theories and methods from other disciplines such as psychology, anthropology, and political science. They share a common goal of understanding education and its relationship to society. And both seek to promote social justice and equality through education. However, sociology of education tends to focus more on the social and cultural factors that influence education, while philosophy of education tends to focus more on the theoretical and conceptual foundations of education. Next, let us evaluate sociological and philosophical concepts in a learning situation. Sociological and philosophical concepts can be applied to a learning situation in a number of ways. Here are some examples. 1. Social inequality and education. Sociological concepts such as social inequality can be applied to understanding educational disparities among different social groups. For instance, students from low-income families and minority groups tend to have lower academic performance compared to their wealthier and white counterparts. By recognizing the social and cultural factors that contribute to these disparities, educators can take steps to address them and promote equal educational opportunities for all students. 2. The purpose of education. Philosophical concepts such as the purpose of education can guide educational practices and policies. For example, if one believes that the primary purpose of education is to prepare students for the workforce, then curricula and assessments might be designed to emphasize vocational skills. Alternatively, if one believes that the purpose of education is to promote personal growth and well-being, then curricula might focus more on the humanities and arts. 3. Teaching and learning. Philosophical concepts such as constructivism can guide teaching and learning practices. Constructivism suggests that students construct their own knowledge based on their experiences and prior knowledge, rather than simply absorbing information from a teacher. Educators can use this concept to design activities that encourage students to actively engage with course material and build their own understanding. 4. Critical pedagogy. Critical pedagogy is a sociological and philosophical concept that emphasizes the importance of questioning power structures and promoting social justice in education. By recognizing the ways in which education can reinforce or challenge existing power dynamics, educators can design curricula and activities that encourage critical thinking and social awareness among students. 5. Cultural diversity and education. Sociological concepts such as cultural diversity can be applied to promoting inclusivity and respect for different cultures in educational settings. By recognizing and celebrating the diverse backgrounds and experiences of students, educators can create a more inclusive and welcoming learning environment. 6. The role of the teacher. Philosophical concepts such as the role of the teacher can guide teaching practices and interactions with students. For instance, if one believes that the teacher should be a facilitator of learning rather than a dispenser of knowledge, then teaching practices might focus on encouraging student-led discussions and activities. 7. Educational policy and reform. Both sociological and philosophical concepts can inform educational policy and reform efforts. By understanding the social and cultural factors that shape educational practices and outcomes, policymakers can design policies and programs that promote equity and access. Similarly, by engaging with philosophical debates about the purpose and value of education, policymakers can shape educational policies that align with their values and beliefs. In summary, sociological and philosophical concepts can provide valuable frameworks for understanding and improving educational practices and policies. By applying these concepts to a learning situation, educators and policymakers can promote equality, inclusivity, critical thinking, and personal growth among students. Having looked at that, next let us distinguish the dimensions of education in relation to learning at school. There are several dimensions of education that are relevant to learning at school. These include 1. Cognitive dimension. This refers to the intellectual or mental processes involved in learning. The cognitive dimension of education encompasses the acquisition of knowledge, skills, and abilities through the process of learning. At school, cognitive development can be promoted through various activities such as lectures, reading assignments, class discussions, and problem-solving exercises. 2. Affective dimension. This refers to the emotional or affective aspects of learning. The affective dimension of education encompasses the development of attitudes, values, and beliefs that shape how individuals approach learning. At school, the affective dimension of education can be promoted through activities that encourage self-reflection, empathy, and collaboration. 3. Social dimension. This refers to the social and cultural contexts in which learning takes place. The social dimension of education encompasses the role of social interactions, cultural norms, and institutional structures in shaping learning outcomes. At school, the social dimension of education can be promoted through activities that encourage teamwork, diversity, and inclusivity. 4. Physical dimension. This refers to the physical environment in which learning takes place. The physical dimension of education encompasses factors such as classroom design, lighting, and acoustics that can affect learning outcomes. At school, the physical dimension of education can be promoted through activities that encourage physical activity, health, and well-being. 5. Moral dimension. This refers to the development of ethical and moral principles that guide individuals' behavior and decision-making. The moral dimension of education encompasses the promotion of values such as fairness, respect, and responsibility. At school, the moral dimension of education can be promoted through activities that encourage critical thinking, ethical decision-making, and social responsibility. 6. Political dimension. This refers to the role of power and politics in shaping educational policies and practices. The political dimension of education encompasses the ways in which political actors, institutions, and ideologies influence educational outcomes. At school, the political dimension of education can be promoted through activities that encourage civic engagement, critical awareness of power structures, and advocacy for educational equity and justice. 7. Historical dimension. This refers to the historical and cultural contexts in which educational systems and practices have developed. The historical dimension of education encompasses the ways in which past events and social structures have influenced current educational practices and policies. At school, the historical dimension of education can be promoted through activities that encourage students to explore the historical and cultural roots of educational practices and to critically evaluate their contemporary relevance. 8. Technological dimension. This refers to the use of technology to support and enhance educational practices and outcomes. The technological dimension of education encompasses the use of digital tools and platforms to facilitate learning and collaboration. At school, the technological dimension of education can be promoted through activities that encourage digital literacy, creativity, and innovation. In conclusion, the dimensions of education are multifaceted and dynamic, and they all play an important role in shaping learning outcomes at school. By recognizing and promoting these dimensions, educators can create learning environments that are inclusive, engaging, and empowering for all students. Finally, before we end this lesson, let's appreciate the importance of sociology and philosophy of education to a teacher. The fields of sociology and philosophy of education are crucial to a teacher's professional development and effectiveness. Here are some reasons why. 1. Understanding social and cultural contexts. Sociology of education provides teachers with insights into the social and cultural factors that shape educational practices and outcomes. By understanding the social and cultural contexts in which students learn, teachers can create learning environments that are responsive and inclusive. 2. Promoting equity and diversity. Both sociology and philosophy of education emphasize the importance of promoting equity and diversity in educational settings. By recognizing and celebrating diversity, teachers can create learning environments that foster cultural sensitivity, respect, and understanding. 3. Developing critical thinking skills. Philosophy of education encourages teachers to develop critical thinking skills among students. By engaging students in debates and discussions about complex ideas and ethical issues, teachers can promote critical thinking skills and intellectual curiosity. 4. Enhancing pedagogical practices. Both sociology and philosophy of education can enhance teachers' pedagogical practices. By understanding different theories of learning, teaching, and curriculum design, teachers can develop effective and innovative teaching strategies that meet the diverse needs of students. 5. Shaping educational policies and practices. Both sociology and philosophy of education are relevant to shaping educational policies and practices. By engaging in debates about educational policies and advocating for educational equity and justice, teachers can make a positive impact on their students and the broader community. 6. Fostering reflection and self-awareness. Philosophy of education encourages teachers to reflect on their own teaching practices and to develop self-awareness. By reflecting on their own teaching practices and beliefs, teachers can identify areas for improvement and develop a more nuanced understanding of their own teaching style and philosophy. 7. Promoting ethical decision-making. Philosophy of education emphasizes the importance of ethical decision-making in educational settings. By engaging in ethical discussions with students and encouraging them to think critically about ethical issues, teachers can promote ethical decision-making and social responsibility among students. 8. Understanding student motivation and behavior. Sociology of education provides teachers with insights into student motivation and behavior. By understanding the social and cultural factors that influence student motivation and behavior, teachers can create learning environments that foster positive attitudes towards learning and promote positive behavior. In conclusion, the fields of sociology and philosophy of education are invaluable to a teacher's professional development and effectiveness. By understanding the social and cultural contexts of education, promoting equity and diversity, developing critical thinking skills, enhancing pedagogical practices, shaping educational policies and practices, fostering reflection and self-awareness, promoting ethical decision-making, and understanding student motivation and behavior, teachers can create learning environments that are engaging, empowering, and inclusive for all students. Thank you for joining us in this lesson. We hope that you found it valuable and helpful towards your diploma teacher training course. Remember, your role as an educator goes beyond imparting knowledge, you're shaping the future by empowering young minds. Stay committed to continuous learning and professional development. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more educational content, and feel free to leave your questions and comments below. See you in the next video.